From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 7th, 2018. Thousands of Palestinians took part in violent riots along the Gaza border fence today, throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails at IDF soldiers who responded with tear gas and other riot control measures. The IDF also reportedly opened fire at Palestinians who tried to breach the fence and enter Israel. IDF aircraft also fired towards a terror cell launching incendiary devices over the fence into Israel. Palestinian media reports that there was one fatality on the Gaza side and a number of injured. U.S. President Donald Trump held a conference call with Jewish leaders yesterday just ahead of Rosh Hashanah, wishing the Jewish community the best for the new year. Taking part in the 20-minute call were also Trump advisor Jared Kushner, U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman, and Harvard Law Professor Emeritus Alan Dershowitz, who, according to the Times of Israel, asked Trump about hopes for peace with the Palestinians, which the president answered, saying he was optimistic about and referenced his taking Jerusalem off the table, moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, and referring to recent cuts in aid made by the U.S. to the Palestinian Authority, with Trump saying funding would resume to the PA if a deal with Israel was made. Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley addressed questions about the U.S. peace plan, which has yet to be unveiled. The Jerusalem Post reports Haley told reporters on Tuesday that the plan is coming soon and that she has read it. She said it is thoroughly done, it is well thought out from both sides, the Palestinians and the Israelis, adding, if they are both willing to hear it, I think that this could be a solution for the region. It could be a solution for both Palestinians and Israelis. I think it would be a solution and a testament to what can happen when two sides come together in the name of helping their people. Haley added that we have ensured that Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu will come to the table. PA President Mahmoud Abbas, for the good of the people, needs to come to the table. Israel's Ethiopian and Muslim communities held a joint prayer service yesterday for the two Israeli men being held by terror group Hamas in Gaza. Ethiopian Israeli Avira Mengistu crossed into Gaza in September of 2014. Bedouin Hisham al-Sayed did so as well the following April. Their families say the two suffer from mental health problems and launched a new campaign referring to them as special needs captives, urging Hamas to release them. They said the two have nothing to do with the conflict and that the terror group is using their sons as bargaining chips. Efforts to release the two have been tied to efforts to release the remains of the two IDF soldiers being held by Hamas that were killed during Operation Protective Edge, Oron Shaul and Hadar Golden. Israel this week took part in a debate at the International Court of Justice in The Hague, in what is said to have been the first time in over half a century that Israel took part. The Times of Israel reports in an exclusive today that Israeli officials said the landmark participation was an effort to get Israel more involved in matters of international law outside of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem's Old City is launching a new high-tech tour this month, Step into History, a virtual reality tour which enables visitors to enjoy present-day Jerusalem while also viewing its ancient past. A guide takes visitors through 9 vantage points in the city, teaching of their historical significance, and with visitors putting the VR goggles on at certain locations to see how those places most likely looked 2,000 years ago. The founder of Lithidamos VR, Simon Young, said there's a lot of different opinions about how Jerusalem looked in the ancient world. Of course, we want to do justice to Jerusalem and to make it as accurate as possible. The company worked together with archaeologists from the Israel Antiquities Authority to try and make that happen. Just ahead of the Jewish New Year, Israel's Central Bureau of Statistics released data this week for the past year, showing that Israel's population has reached 8.907 million, 162,000 more than a year ago. Of that number, 6.625 million are Jewish, which is 74.4%. 1.864 million, or 20.9%, are Arab, with 418,000 comprised of other minorities. And with Rosh Hashanah beginning Sunday night, we will be airing live services from Central Synagogue in New York City for you here on JBS, as we do every year, throughout the high holidays. Sunday night, Kol Nidre services begin at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, with services on Monday morning at 9:30, then 3:15 in the afternoon and 6 in the evening, as well as 9:30 Tuesday morning. More information, as always, can be found on our website, jbstv.org. And our programming for tonight on JBS, of course, has your live Shabbat services coming up at 6 o'clock from Central Synagogue, followed by musical performances from David Broza, Ron Eliran, and Peter Yarrow. At 8, veteran comic writer Alan Zweibel speaks at the 92nd Street Y. At 9, it's the film The Pin. And at 10:30, it's Muzika with Israeli band Chavurat Atomic. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 5:30, a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, September the 7th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be back with the news update on Tuesday. Wishing you a sweet and healthy new year. Shana Tova Umetuka, and Shabbat Shalom.